the Matt Mervis game. Where were you, Juice, for the Matt Mervis breakout game? All good things that happened tonight. Juice, initial thoughts right out the gate, man, for this big win.
It was odd, right? Kind of an odd game, I think, in terms of like watching the Mets. We were in the beginning of the broadcast. They showed how great they are at turning ground balls and outs, and then they threw the ball all around today. It opened up a lot of opportunities for the Cubs, and like you said, the guys who came up from Iowa starting to show you some wins here, and I think that's a huge, kind of storyline for the next couple games, at least this homestand, at least for me, because those two, and Morel has got to go, and then Mervis seems to be getting more and more comfortable as he gets more at bats in the big leagues, really need to produce. Now you've DFA'd Hosmer, you've made some changes to the roster in hopes to get more at bats for guys that I think are going to be mainstays on this team. And now it's on those guys to just keep producing. You can't say enough about Christopher Morel. He's been absolutely brilliant since coming up. And Mervis, I think it's easy to look at the batting average and the slug and go, oh, where is it? First of all, it's going to come. He's too damn good of a hitter for him to continue to have the at-bats he's having, but he's been much more influential with the glove. It's been amazing to me that a young player like that who's getting his chance in the big leagues could easily struggle at the plate and then bring it out into the field, but he hasn't. He's been electric at picking at first base. He's made the typical plays. I don't think there's been one thing that I can remember over the course of him coming up where I've been like, man, that's just a young player making a young, dumb mistake.
Yeah.
He's been just great at that position. And two, I think today's game was just what the doctor ordered because the Cubs were able to experiment a little bit with this bullpen. They were able to throw guys into pressure cook situations like Jeremiah Estrada. He got into that bases loaded mess that Smiley had put together in the sixth there and comes out only giving up one run. I thought that was the change in the ball game there. It was the moment that over the course of this losing streak, you look at the games they've lost, and it's been the grand slam or the double into the gap that clears the bases in that situation. And he came in and worked the best way through it. And I think that if you look at this team over the course of this next run that they can go on here, I think there's a lot to be excited about. And I think they're playing better baseball than the record shows, obviously. But I still sit here and I go, tonight you got this wonderful performance out of Seiya. You got this great performance out of Morel and Mervis. Like, there's still guys that need to get healthy, get back into this lineup. That way the offense stays consistent, because we've seen this, right? Where they'll put up 7 runs in this opening game, and then the next 2 are like, they forget how to play baseball. This win tonight reminded me so much about like this game against the Twins that they played in that first series. They came out, they dominated, they won. They're like, all right, cool. Now win one of the next 2 and win a series. Don't let that happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Win this game, carry it in tomorrow. You got tough, probably pitchers duel tomorrow, but yeah, I just don't let the foot off the gas. Keep rolling here, start stringing together wins, and find yourself back in the middle of this thing again.
100% Juice. And building off your point there, right, of don't let this become a habit of play a really great first game and then don't carry that momentum over the second game. This is the time they can do it now because they're also at home. You have that kind of, dare I say, it really is a Wrigley advantage to the Cubs. I mean, in recent years, this team has played astronomically better at home than it has on the road at times. So I think this is the time where they can correct that, Juice. And you're seeing, I think the biggest part is, you've mentioned it on this show before. There are guys on this roster that show they can carry a team to at least be semi-competitive. Like, they can carry you consistently enough where they do enough damage that if you get just a couple of timely hits from some of these other guys, You don't need every guy in the order hitting when these guys are hot, and that right now is Saya and Morel. I mean, these guys have been incredible. You get a night like tonight from a Matt Mervis. You get a little bit of contribution from a guy like Talkman. I mean, if you look at the rest of the lineup, you had Swanson driving in a run, which we always love to see. Nico, one hit tonight. Hap, still two walks again. The guy's an on base machine, but 0 for 3 for him tonight. You know what I mean? 0 for 4 from Patrick Wisdom with a bunch of Ks, just one hit for Gomes, even though it drove in a run. They're just getting just enough of that sprinkle of offense right now, and that's what they need to keep up. I think that's how this team keeps going. Ride Morel. 5 straight games now with a home run. That ties a franchise record. And Jeremiah, betting man over here, saying, how much money are you willing to put up to see Morel break the franchise record with 6 consecutive homers? There's a real chance. It's going to be a little cooler in Chicago tomorrow, so it's going to be a cooler evening in Wrigley. Watch the flags. Never know how that changes. We're still in May, just for a little longer, folks. Can he do that again, right? Because if he gets that kind of big momentum swinging play, and in tonight's case, it just kind of was the
cherry on top.
The cherry on top, the final nail in the coffin. That kind of sealed the game, but you get that energy boost right out the gate from Seiya Suzuki. That kind of jolts the team right away. Oh, Seiya hits a big bomb. That's cool. And then they follow that up. Mervis with the 2-run homer. Like, that's what I think this team needs, is just those energy plays. It's a league now where the finesse plays again, but some nights ball go far, team go far. And just be that way, right? I mean, that is an on-tap Sportsnet wide statement here that our friend over on the other side, Mr. NWI Steve, likes to say. Ball go far, team go far. And in the case of like the last few games, that's kind of how it's been. If they're hitting 2, maybe 3 a game, they're winning. They're winning very convincingly, and they're showing that the power is there with this team. Very, very, very pleased with tonight's effort, but agree with you, Juice. They got to keep building on that.